The struggle is real. And it's hard out here in these streets, okay? Elsie here today, and I'm back with a highly requested video. A lot of you were rocking with me for a while. You guys know that I have officially been living on my own for almost 2 years now. And during that time of life, you had a lot of questions as far as how I moved out, how did I budget, how I find a place to live, all those different things. And you guys wanted me to do a video on it. So the first thing that I want to tell you guys is save your money. Now, depending on your living situation, most of us are usually coming from living with parents, but it also could be relatives as well. You want to make sure that you are saving that money during the time when you are living at home. I think the best thing to do would be to open up a savings account, mainly because you have your regular cash for when you want to spend it on different things, but you also have a set amount that you can put aside to save and not touch. Now, one of the main things that I remember doing before I had moved out was consistently budgeting, doing a list of different things, just like a mock trial, just so I could really understand what the cost would be for moving out and what I should go into expect when I did make that transition. A good idea for this little exercise would be to go to your mother, your father, your relative, grandmother, whoever you're living with, go to them and say, hey, is it possible for you to give me all the different bills that you get each month, mainly utility bills and other things, and can I pretty much do a little diagram of seeing what exactly I would have to pay? So I remember that she gave me the cable bill, she gave me the phone bill, the light bill, the gas bill. Also, don't forget that you're going to need to eat. So there's also grocery shopping as well. You also have gas to put in your car if you do have a vehicle to transport you to and fro. There's just a lot of different things. And once I saw the list of bills, I was saying to myself, like, wow, this is no joke. And once you actually see all of the main bills that are going to come out your month each month, sometimes some of these extra bills don't really look like they're necessary. Especially if you realize you're not utilizing these things, you are quickly able to cut some of those different costs and you can put more money aside to your savings account and more money into your budget. Another piece of advice that I have for you guys would be to pretty much take care of that sweet deal that you have at home. If you are in a position where you are really close with your family, they're supportive, they're able to pretty much get you through life until you're ready to leave the nest, please do not be in a rush to move out. Like, I'm begging you, do not be in a rush to move out because it's real, okay? The struggle is real. And it's hard out here in these streets, okay? What you can do is get into the habit of asking them, like, hey, you know, all the different bills that you did get for your budget, see exactly what is feasible for you to take on. So I helped out with rent. I also helped out with the cable bill. And this really got me into the mindset. I put the little rent at the first of the month because that's exactly when most of the rent is due. I made sure that the cable bill was always on time. I had a reminder. So doing these little exercises will get you into the habit of paying your bills on time and also expecting them each month. It's really important that you are able to look at yourself and say, like, hey, am I in a position where I like my job? Am I in a position where I can see myself here long term? Am I in a position where I feel like this job is satisfying to me, but also fulfilling enough to basically make rent each month? If you don't have these qualities, it's going to be very, very hard to have to force yourself to stay there just so you can keep paying your rent. You're going to be miserable. You're probably going to end up quitting. And if you're not making enough money, it's going to just be a nightmare, just stress, headache. I can see it now, so just don't do it. Now, the next thing that I definitely want to talk about is credit. Credit is seriously important. This is like the bread and butter on top of having a stable job when it comes to moving out. Now, the first way that you can actually start doing this is by looking at what's in your credit. A lot of people don't even know what their credit report is. And most of the time when you are first starting out, you really don't have a credit score, so your credit is low. Now, one way that you can take advantage of your whole credit score is by signing up for Credit Sesame. It's a great site that basically shows you what's in your credit report. It lets you know your credit score, and it's 100% free. When I was going out for apartments, every time I would go to the renter's office or the realtor office, they would always ask for a credit check. Now, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I've seen some of these credit applications range from sometimes $10, $25 to even $50. And I was just looking at this like, damn, this is a lot of money. And I didn't even know if I'm going to get the apartment yet. This is why it's important to have Credit Sesame, because you can have an outline of your credit right there for them to see. Your social and everything is linked for it. All they have to do is just view it, see exactly the different things that you have, and it will let them know exactly where your credit score is without having to pay a fee. Once I was able to move out, I really had to think about if I wanted a roommate or if I wanted to live by myself. Now, there are different pros and cons to living by yourself and living with a roommate, so I would encourage you guys to try to see exactly what those things would be before you jump into it. So if you do decide you're going to go with a roommate, there are a couple of pros that come with it. The first pro will be that you are going to save money because you're going to be splitting the cost of the rent between maybe 2, 3, or even 4 people. You'll also always have company around, so it's not like you're ever going to be lonely. There's also a benefit of having your roomies look after your pets when you're at the house. They can pick up your mail. If one of them may have like a car or something, they could give you a lift. So it's always cool to see that your roomies will have your back depending on the type of relationship that you have. The pros, we can talk about some of the cons. Obviously, privacy is going to be a huge one for when you are living with roommates. There is the con of not being able to walk around freely naked like I definitely do. There's also safety concerns that come with roomies as well. Depending on where you're getting roomies, I know some people, they do look on Craigslist for roommates. I don't really agree with that because, again, safety concerns. So you have to be careful. You could get somebody who is, you know, great with their payments. They're responsible, but they could, you know, sleepwalk. They could snore. They could do all these crazy things. You just never know, girl. You never know. It's also the issue of sharing chores, somebody not pulling their weight in the apartment, cleaning up after themselves. A lot of that. Now, there also could be concerns as far as with bills, as far as missed payments, not respecting what's yours in the refrigerator. They eat your food, having a light bill that could be like, I don't know, $300 because they forgot to turn the AC off and they left it on all day and night because they went out to party. There's a lot of different things that come into it with roommates, so you really have to be mindful if this is something that's really for you. And the number one rule that I want to give you guys, if you have to move in with a roommate, please don't let it be your best friend. Please don't do that. A lot of the time, I have seen some of my friends move in with some of their best friends, mutual friends that we had in a lot, and now they are no longer friends because, you know, you feel like your best friend is somebody that you know. It could be like your sister, but once you actually move in with them, you see them 24/7, you start realizing things that you don't like about them, and then you guys begin to fight, and it just ruins the friendship. So please, if you can, do not move in with your best friend because it may not result in a good outcome. So now that you finally decide that you're either going to do a roommate or live by yourself, you have to pick the location on where you're going to move. You want to make sure that you're going to pick somewhere that is pretty close to where you work. You want to make sure the commute isn't going to be too crazy. You also want to make sure that the area that you commute to is going to be somewhere you can see yourself entertained in. Make sure that it's somewhere that could be either close to your family or friends so that you can have something to do while you are by yourself because it can get pretty lonely. You want to make sure that you're moving somewhere where you feel safe, you don't feel threatened, you're not scared to go home at night, and you're gonna feel okay living by yourself. So if you do see certain listings where the rent is too good to be true, meaning it's extremely low, do yourself a favor and do a quick crime search for that area. Sometimes things really are too good to be true, and your safety should never be something that you sacrifice just to save on the cost of rent. So guys, I am all talked out. I feel like I've given enough of my tips and tricks on different ways to move out. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you guys haven't. Thank you guys so much for watching, and if you guys have any further questions about moving out that I may have missed, please be sure to leave your comments down below and I'll be sure to answer them. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.